I'm a common ground person as well. But I think it's really important for people to understand why people on the right got so upset by the Democrats' response. What happened was a person who seems to be a trans person murdered praying Catholics. And the
Mhm.
Democrats' response was to rush to attack prayer and then defend the trans community.
Of course they would. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Because that's what they represent. A lot of them represent that transgender, that they got that whole agenda that they're pushing. So why wouldn't they attack prayer? The truth is, they hate God, anything that has to do with them. But let it have been a Muslim praying to Allah. Oh man, can't say anything against that. We have more respect for people's religion outside of our own country to where now the Christian is being mocked or even downplayed. Things such as prayer. So we need to really, as the body of Christ and people, it's time to take a stand.
So there was a reversal of the victim and the perpetrator, which, by the way, was exactly what the shooter had written on his guns. He wrote, "Where is your God?" And that was what a lot of people on the right heard when Democrat after Democrat after Democrat came out and said, prayers are not enough. Those children were literally praying. They associated the victims of this horrific act with their political enemies and ran to the defense of who they thought the killer was and the community they believed he came from. So much so that they wouldn't even identify him as trans because they didn't want to besmirch what they view as a protected category. And this is unbelievably hurtful and offensive and pathological, Chris, especially in a moment when a community is mourning.
Now let's talk about that for a few moments because here's the thing, right? The left decides that they're going to attack prayer, but you know what they want to do? They want to tell us Americans don't have guns. The guns are the problem. No, it's the possessor of the guns that is the problem. And it's not just general citizens in general. It's just that this trans who decided to open fire to go into the school, it was premeditated murder that he would go in and start just firing off his firearm. We don't know if he owned it legally. We don't know any of that as of yet. Maybe some of us do, but as far as what I've come to know from the situation, we don't know that for a fact. But the fact of the matter is that this man came in there, and the Democrats are more concerned about, oh, he was gay and all this other stuff. He was a trans and all these things. They were trying to cover that up and throw that under the rug because they want to attack the Christian. Kamala Harris said it in her campaign. This isn't this place. When they shouted out about Jesus, she said that doesn't belong here. But yet she's hit her hypocrisy of being in the church campaigning, trying to get the votes of the saints. And that's why we have to take a stand against mess like this, because you know what, saints? There's a difference between the saints of God and the world. And so they want to come into our churches,